I was clearing a huge outdoor marijuana patch, and the gas-powered hedge trimmer was, like, at the end of the day, I was high. It looked like it wasn't moving, and I literally grabbed it and it cut off all my fingers. We went to the hospital and they wanted to cut off all my fingers at the nubs, but I was with a couple of my buddies and we basically said, like, I'll go back home and sew them on myself if you're not gonna sew them on. So the doctors sewed them on. He said we couldn't leave without treating me, so he sewed them on. He put in pins in all of my fingers, and he told me that there's no way that they could possibly grow back. And literally, every single day I would smoke weed and I would just meditate, and I would send cells, white blood cells, all different types of cells, and I would recreate the connections in my fingers and in my fingertips. And they said that there's no way that I could do anything with them, and now I can pretty much, they're almost like new. On a couple, there's still a little bit of numb feeling, but yeah, that was the awakening. I started to go inside as I was doing this, and I was seeing karmically how and why I was feeling this much pain. I was connecting this pain that I was feeling with all of the energetic pains that I created in other human beings, like whether it emotional or spiritual or physical, all these different ways of being that I was creating. I was actually experiencing the pain inside of my body. So after that happened, once they all grew back, then I started to seek. I started to want answers, to go deeper into spirituality. So I was going deeper into myself. And then that's when I started to travel the world and train with different masters and have amazing, powerful spiritual experiences.
Well, that's amazing. Oftentimes, you know, I think, now you'll probably agree, I think doctors do more harm by telling what they think is the truth, because then they make it your truth. So if they say, dude, you're paralyzed for life, that's it. Well, you're going to believe it because he's the doctor and he knows what he's doing. You're just the patient. You don't know anything. And I think, I mean, that's an extreme example, but I know people that have given up. And it's something that isn't a big deal to me. I look at it, I go, well, why couldn't you just, you know, just start walking a bit, get a little more strength, and, well, oh no, doctor says, you know, I'm too old for that, and blah, blah, and that's it. And they just give up. So if you had given up, you'd have no fingertips.
For sure. Well, yeah, it's a limiting belief, right? And we are unlimited beings. We are capable of pretty much doing absolutely anything. Our minds are so powerful. And when your mind is under your control and you're consciously choosing which reality and how you want to respond to life and how you're responding inside of yourself, like that's the ultimate.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think as a society, we're just really starting to scratch the surface, you know, as to what's capable. We're all capable of doing co-creatively too, you know. One person can do amazing things. Imagine a city the size of Vancouver, full of conscious people. I mean, you could literally just instantly do anything, you know.
For sure.
So I think it's a great time to be alive, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
We're more connected on this planet than we've ever been. Not in the like face-to-face interactions necessarily, but in the ability to transfer information. So it's yeah, it's an amazing time. Like, we're so blessed to be alive. We can literally do anything. We can fly to outer space right now. We can go deep under the sea. We can create anything we want. Anything your mind can conceive, you can create.
Never mind the, you know, dimensional travel and all of that, you know. We won't go there. I don't have enough tape here. But it's real.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's like a whole new world. I know for me, you know, I'm saving that one for a little later, you know, just to get this sorted out first. And then there's a new adventure right there, you know.
For sure.
So briefly, let's go to Caleb's future. What do you see? I mean, with this blog, I'm really trying to give us all a sense of community and sort of build the tribe. And so, as a community of, let's call it more conscious people, inner journeyers, let's call it, right? What would you like to see? What are some of your projects, perhaps, or ideas about society and how it would work to get us to where you know we need to go?
I see where we need to go is unification. We need to connect the entire world and have everyone working on the same page. The reason why there's different battles and conflicts is because everyone isn't accepting everyone as an aspect of themselves. So there's people fighting over specific land masses. There's countries, like all this stuff has to dissolve. Like imagine if we took away all the borders, all the armies in each country, and instead all those people that were using, and that was their job and source of income, if we get all those people to start creating solar panels, start to create all these different free energy, which has been available to us for how many years? All these different things, dissolving all boundaries, all imaginary lines of separation, and we actually connect and unify as one consciousness with the main goal and main idea to become a peaceful world. And yes, it's a fantasy, but in one dimension and in a few dimensions, it's also a reality. And it starts with the individual. So the reason why there is conflict and war is because individuals have conflicts happening inside of their body, inside of their mind. So we need right now a technology which is a yoga or a meditation or different types of things that you can do to eradicate conflict within. Because when you are harmonious and equanimous within, naturally the outside universe will reflect what's happening inside of you.
If you had to pick one thing, and I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If I said, Caleb, you can only get people to do one thing to save the world, what would it be? Like learn one thing or adopt a practice or whatever. Just one. What would it be?
Become aware of every single breath that you take.
Okay. That wasn't what I thought you'd say, but that's good too. See, I would say yoga. Same thing in a sense, right? Certainly is one way. But yeah, I think certainly meditation and yoga and getting to know the real you, that not this ego you.
For
if
sure.
we could eradicate ego even, that's a good one too, isn't it? If we could just eradicate ego in every single human being and suddenly we realize we're all one, everything else would just happen. Right?
Naturally.
You're not going to shoot anybody if you know it's you.
For sure.
It's not going to happen, right? And you're probably going to help somebody because you know it's you. If there's none of that separate sort of independence, it might take a little longer if they didn't do the meditation and the yoga, but eventually you'd figure it out because you realize that we're all the same thing, and we're just seeing ourselves in other people, as you were mentioning a second ago. So
we're literally made of the 5 elements. We come from planet Earth. We're fabricated from Earth. Mm-hmm. So all 5 elements are in every single individual, and how we recreate ourselves is our individuality, right? Mm-hmm. For sure. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can have sort of that sense of a caricature, an ego. I don't think there's anything that wrong about it. But what I mean is to think that that's really you. That's when the problem arises.
Well, even
would
to
you
think,
agree?
Yeah, even to think that you're this body,
right?
Like it's literally made of earth, and when you're finished with it, it goes back to the earth.
Right.
It's just a tool.
Right. A vessel to hang out in for a while.
For sure. To experience.
Yeah, I think you wrap that all up with a sense of mortality. I think it's very important to realize that we're mortal, because if you don't, then you don't live a full life, and so many of us we sweep that under the rug. How would people get a hold of you if they were interested in some sort of collaboration, or give us a little plug for your business while you're at it? And maybe talk just very briefly about what is it that you produce. And you mentioned yoga, so obviously you're into that big time. Give us just a little blurb about that.
Okay, so we create high-end athletic yoga apparel for men. You can use it for anything. I use it for jiu-jitsu. I use it for training in the gym. It's just super comfortable, form-fitting, that accentuates the masculine physique, as well as being imbued with mantra and deeper dimensional energies. It's you can reach us at mensyoga.com, and you can reach me on Facebook at caleb.fuergutz.
Excellent. I'll put all that on the screen for the patrons here. Caleb, been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for doing this, and I hope to see you around again sometime.
For sure. Thanks, brother.
Namaste.
Namaste.